55-year-old hairdresser Maria Marafino is suing her ex-husband, 35-year-old electrician Felix Wages, for a big screen TV and personal property. Felix is countersuing for stolen money and for the cost of Maria's breast enhancement.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 165 on the calendar in the matter of Marafino versus Wages. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Marafino, you and the defendant were married, divorced, and according to your complaint, tried to reconcile. The reconciliation did not work out, and it is your claim that the defendant has a television set that belongs to you, in addition to other personal property.
Yes.
The defendant says that the television set was a gift to him, and he has a counterclaim. Counterclaim says that you cleaned out his bank accounts, that you owe him for some medical bills, and some important papers that he wants. Is that right?
That's correct.
So let's get some dates. When did you try this reconciliation?
I moved back in on December of 2000.
For how long?
I moved out again on March 20th.
Okay. And when did you purchase this television set?
March 2nd, it was purchased.
What kind of television?
It was a Mitsubishi large screen, 50-inch, I believe.
A man's television. You want me to tell you how I know that, Mrs. Marafino? Bert, don't look so disgusted. I'm going to tell you. I have a lovely living room in my house that I spent a great deal of time trying to make just perfect. Right in the corner as you walk in is this monster 55-inch television set that is the ugliest thing I ever saw. It's not mine.
This one's mine, Your Honor.
Okay. So tell me the circumstances surrounding you purchasing it.
We discussed it, and I said that I would buy it, and I bought it. There was no mention of a gift. It was not a gift.
It's not true.
Just a minute, I'll get to you in a minute. At that point, you were living together as a family. Is that right?
Correct. We were not married at the time.
I understand, but you were living together as a family.
Yes.
How are the bills being handled?
My income and his income went into one joint account, and they were paid out of that one account.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Where did the money come from for this television set? From the joint account or from your individual account?
You have to excuse, I only have a copy of my tax income return.
Just answer my question.
Okay.
The money, did you pay
Was
cash?
a tax income refund.
Just a second. Did you pay cash
No.
for this television set?
It was a check.
From where?
Our joint account.
That's what I'm asking you, so let's just get to it. What you're saying is you both pooled your money into a joint account.
Yes.
And from that, you paid all the bills.
Yes.
And when you got your income tax refund, it went into the joint account.
Yes.
And it was from the joint account that the television was paid from.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, you explain to me why, sir, you believe this was a gift to you.
Basically, I had wanted a big screen TV, and we were saving up money to make that purchase or whatever. She said she was going to be getting her income tax check back and put it in the account, and that she was going to buy this TV for me as a present. And eventually, we were going to save up some more money, and the agreement was that eventually we would purchase a hot tub, basically. That's what she wanted.
Did you get a tax refund that year?
Did I get a tax refund? Yes, it was after we had separated already.
Let's say, sir, that this was not a gift to you. This was something that was purchased for the household. For the household.
Okay.
Then you would have to distribute the property. Now, let's say this came out of joint funds.
Mm-hmm.
But you kept the property, right?
That's correct.
And it's brand new property. It's not something that was purchased 10 years ago.
That's correct.
You got to pay for it, unless you want to give it the television set.
That's correct.
Oh, then we've resolved the whole issue.
Well,
how much was the television
Your Honor,
set?
Your Honor.
$1,960.
I have a
Your
letter
Honor.
here, though, stating that she had accepted her losses and that she's moved on.
Your Honor, that was
Just a sec.
before I filed the lawsuit.
Just a minute. I'll take a look at your letter. I'll take a look at your letter.
That was a letter I received a few days after she had come and taken everything.
You mean you want me to read the part where she says, I've cut my losses with my possessions and have moved on?
Right, correct.
Give her the money for the television set, sir. You watching it? You watching it? It's in your house?
Yes.
Then you pay her for it. It came out of a joint account. But as you said, most of it was paid for, or if not all of it was paid
All of
for
it,
out of
Your Honor.
all of it was paid out of her money, and the expectation was you were going to save up more of your joint money and buy her what she wanted. The relationship terminated before that, so she never got her end of the deal, which was her hot tub, right?
That's correct, but...
Good.
Okay.
$1,960 television set, personal property. What kind of personal property are you talking about?
My son's sporting goods stuff. I had a police escort, so there wouldn't be any problems. The police officer told us both that whatever he said I could have is what I could get because he owned the home. I asked for a walkthrough of the house. I didn't really see anything, and the TV was nowhere in the house. Anyway, my stuff and my son's stuff...
Where'd you move the TV?
Your Honor,
Where'd you move the TV? It's a big TV to move. Where'd you move it?
to a friend's house.
Why? Why?
Because I didn't want any trouble. I didn't want to be fighting and starting a fight. We had problems with our relationship. She left. She cleared out the whole...
I'll get to your
checking and savings
counterclaim in a minute, sir. Do you have her son's sporting equipment?
Yes, I do.
Where is it?
It's in the garage.
Good. You give it to him. What else?
That's...
assorted clothes, assorted kitchen stuff,
Forget it.
a treadmill.
You have her treadmill?
Your Honor, that treadmill was at the house, and when she came to get her possessions, she said that it would not fit in her house, and she left it on the back patio.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
If you want to make arrangements to go and get it, go and get it.
Well, Your Honor, it's been out in the rain. It was...
You should have filed your lawsuit before. You're not going to get money for it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maria Marafino says ex-husband Felix Waiches owes for a big screen TV and the return of her property.
Now, you say that she cleaned out a bank account. What bank account did you clean out and when?
It was our joint account, basically the day after she had left.
Can I see it?
It's all highlighted, the amounts and the day she had done it.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Did you withdraw money from the checking account?
There was $1,400 in the checking account. I took out $700.
There was two right in a row there, Your Honor, one for $700, one for $726 right underneath it.
Yeah, and you must have took that out because, Your Honor, I did not.
Well, there's one on the 25th and there's one on the 26th,
Right,
so I can't tell. You might have taken one out the next day. Is that possible?
Not that I recall, I did not.
Well,
I mean,
not that you recall.
Well, I know for a fact I did not.
Fine. She was going to clean out the checking account. She would have done it on the same day.
Also, Your
well,
Honor...
now, Your Honor, on there, on the second page, you can see she went back into the account the next month and withdrew more money out of the account. She proceeded to use...
You're talking about $41.75?
Your Honor,
And
I
she
did
had
take
told me-
$40 out, and $175, I think, was a little ATM charge.
Why did you take it out the following month?
Because I needed food, groceries. I went
you'd
out
already
with...
taken out your half.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
So he gets credit for $41. Okay. Now, the savings account. You took
There
the
was
whole thing.
$305 in the savings,
Right.
and I took out $300 of it.
That's not half. Did you both put money in the savings account?
No, Your Honor, he has a business account that he was putting money in as well that had over $1,000 in it at the time.
No, that doesn't answer my question. Were you both putting money in the savings account?
Yes.
Then you were only entitled to half, not the entire amount.
Okay.
So he gets credit for $150. Okay.
Can I explain why I'm actually asking for more money?
No, I'm not interested why you're actually asking for more money.
Well, Your Honor...
I'm not interested. Anybody who takes a television out of the house so that it's not there, I'm not interested in what they have to say about that. You took out half. You have half. Now, let's hear about the medical bill, sir. That's another part of your counterclaim.
When we had gotten back together again, I had received an income tax check. I had signed the income tax check over to her to get a breast enhancement. And basically, I figured if she could give this TV as a present to me and ask for it back, that was a present to her.
He'd like my implants back?
Forget it. What's next? It's an interesting theory. Let's go. Next. Papers.
She has papers from the house, mortgage papers and everything like that.
Is the house in your name?
Yes, it is.
Those his papers?
Yes, ma'am.
Give them to him.
This was in one of the garbage can bags that he packed of my stuff.
It's not
They're all
very
there.
organized. 191. So $1,769 for the television set if he's going to keep
Your
it.
Honor, it's out of a joint account. I don't understand that.
Is it back in your house?
Yes, it's in my house.
You'd moved it back.
Yes.
Pay for it. Even listen to me. Listen to me. Even if I take what your excuse for this television set was as gospel, the agreement was that since she was getting the money at that point, and I'm speaking and you're not receiving.
Okay, I'm hearing what you're saying, Your Honor.
That the television set was going to be purchased first, and then when you got your money, your tax refund, you would purchase the hot tub with your money that would go into the joint accounts because that's what she wanted. Well, that contract was never fulfilled. It was never fulfilled because I'm speaking and you're not receiving. You're going to try to talk around me, over me, through me. It's not going to work. Your contract, therefore, with her was not fulfilled. And she gets either the television back or the money for the television back. $1,769 judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
After now, we will never be together again.
I think he's a selfish, evil man.
And now the next case.
All parties on Moeller versus Stevens. Step forward, please.
Commercial pilot Doug Moeller is suing his neighbors, Roger and Jackie Stevens, and their son, 17-year-old Brian. Doug says Brian purposefully damaged his daughter's bicycle. The Stevens are countersuing for the cost of a bike and damage to their screen door.
Mr. Moeller, it is your claim that the defendant's son damaged your daughter's bike.
That's correct.
The defendant says that he caused no damage to the bike, and they are counterclaiming because they say that their daughter's bike was stolen from your backyard and it's your fault. B, that your son tore a hole in their screen door. You weren't there during this bike incident?
No, ma'am, I wasn't.
I'd like you to sit down.
Okay.
And your children up here. Now, you weren't present either, is that right?
Correct.
So you can sit down, leaving the alleged perpetrator standing. When did this happen?
Around midsummer last year.
Tell me about the day.
We went over to see my cousin that we always play with.
You have to speak up because I can't hear you. Tell me your first name.
Timothy Moeller.
All right, Timothy, keep your voice up. You hear the way I'm talking?
Yeah.
Try to do it.
Okay.
Good. Okay, go ahead.
Brian started jumping up and down on the bike.
That's Brian.
Yeah.
What were you doing on the bike?
I was sitting on it. I've never seen a bike like that before, so I was testing out the shocks.
Testing out the shocks.
Right.
And how, Brian, were you testing out the shocks?
I bounced up and down on the seat a couple times and lifted the front tire off the ground about 2 inches and then let it go.
It was a girl's bike, wasn't it? It
No, it wasn't.
was a boy's bike.
Yeah,
Big or little?
it was big. It was a 20-inch.
Your Honor, could I give you a photograph of the bicycle as
Yes,
evidence?
I'd like to see it.
This is a photograph of the bicycle with a bicycle license, and it shows that these are actually children's bicycles. Quite a bit smaller than an adult would be riding.
Mm-hmm. Small?
I didn't think it was.
Small?
Okay.
Okay. Who told you you could get on the bike?
Nobody.
Can I see the wheel, please? How old are you?
17.
So
I was
get a
16
job
at
and
the time.
pay for the wheel. Wheel's all bent. Wheel's all bent. Would you step up, sir? Okay. We'll make very quick work of this part of the case. Your son got on a bike without permission, tested out the springs, didn't ride it the way it was supposed to be ridden, and they say as a result of that, the wheel was broken. So?
Well, according to my witness, my daughter and my son, when he got off, it was still on the kickstand. She got back on it. She rode home on it. We felt that if he had done it, she would have went home. If she'd have done it right then, she'd have went home and told her father, hey, Brian just damaged my bike. But the story that we got is that the next day or so, he noticed the damage, came to the children and said, what happened to your bike? We're not sure. We think maybe when Brian was on it, you know, and so we just don't feel that he did it. It may have happened later.
Well, what you feel is irrelevant.
Okay.
Relevant facts are he got on a bike without permission. He was testing the shocks.
Okay.
He's a big boy. He jumped up and down. I mean, at least he's telling the truth. Now, when you went to ride the bike home, did you see anything different in riding the bike?
The bicycle wheel was rubbing up against the side of the bike.
And did you feel that before he had gotten on the bike to test it?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Okay, so now I need the bill. I mean, it's not malicious, it's not terrible, but you pay the bill. $106, is that what it cost?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now, let's get, what?
Your Honor, could I speak for just a second, please?
Sure.
What we've heard here is in a large part a fabrication. In fact, I'd like to call Michelle Stevens as a witness, if I could, please, Brian.
Second, sir, you just won your case. Why do you have to call anything?
I know, but there's a little bit more than $106 involved here.
What?
It cost me $27 to file this in small claims court in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
And there was more damage to it than just the wheel. The handlebar extensions were damaged, the pedals were damaged, the bicycle seat was torn up.
But I asked for the bill to fix it.
Yeah, you got the bill.
You
That's
got
correct.
the bill, $106.40.
That's correct.
That's the bill that you gave me.
That's correct.
So?
Well, I guess that's the end of the story then.
That's the end of the story.
All right.
You just
Okay.
won. Sit.
Very good.
This is not a major toxic waste pollution case.
I understand.
A bent bicycle wheel. All right, let me get to the bottom line of your case, which I've read. Let me see if I understand it. Your daughter was playing over at their house. The plaintiff wants to go someplace. And according to you, he said to the kids, why don't you just put the bikes in the backyard? The daughter put her bike in their backyard. The bike was stolen. And based on that, you believe it's his fault.
His responsibility.
No, that's wrong. How old is your daughter?
13,
So she had the capacity to say, I'm going to go put my bike in my garage?
which she did. And he said, no, just put it in our backyard. We won't be gone very long. And both of the girls' bicycles got stolen.
You want to go further and tell me about this torn screen?
This is just
When did that
what I
happen?
get from the kids. This was last summer.
Did you tear the screen in Mr. Stevens' house?
No, ma'am.
You have a witness with regard to the torn screen?
Yes. My
I'll
son.
hear you, Brian.
I was inside the house, and these two kids and my sister were inside, and I was trying to watch TV, and they were being loud, so they went outside. I locked the door, so they were locked out. I heard a noise at my window, and I opened the curtain, and Timothy was there with a stick poking a hole through it.
Did you poke a hole through the screen? Did you replace the screen?
No, but I have an estimate to have it replaced.
You went through a whole summer with a screen with a hole in it from a stick?
Yes, ma'am.
Get a patch. I can understand why you're aggravated, but it's unfortunate that people who had a rather pleasant relationship have any tension because of this. That's your fault. They're all a lot younger than you are. So the first thing that happened was you locked your sister and her two friends out of the house because you wanted to watch television in peace. Is that what happened with the screen? Stupid. Then you got on a bike, jumped up and down on the bike, not your bike, and bent the wheel. Also, stupid. As a result of that, two families, which had, I assume, gotten along reasonably well together if you let your daughter go with the plaintiff before, have any kind of friction now. Very, very stupid. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $133. The counterclaims dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Kimberly Shuren is suing her ex-boyfriend, 33-year-old musician Steve Brown, for charges he made on her credit card. Steve says Kimberly incurred the charges when she went on the road with his band.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 78 on the calendar in the matter of Shuren versus Brown. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Shuren, the defendant was your boyfriend, who you claim used your credit card with your permission, with a promise that he would return the money that he used on the credit card. Is that right? Mm-hmm. The defendant says that he has a band that travels and that he did use your credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
And the credit card was used for your expenses at a time when you decided that you wanted to travel with a band. And if I understand you, Mr. Brown, your defense is that when you and the members of your band travel together, you minimize those expenses by sharing rooms, lodging, etc. You had to have a separate room with her.
Yes, ma'am.
You explained that carefully to her so that I assume that most of the charges that were made on her credit card were lodging expenses, right?
There
Good,
was some-
because that's your defense. So this is going to be an easy case. Let me see the expenses on the credit card.
Yes, ma'am, I have...
I mean, I read your defense, so without any further fanfare, let me see if we have a whole bunch of lodging expenses.
I have the credit card, and I made a list here, too.
Well, we have a motel in Loxley, Alabama. Then we have a charge for Guitar Center, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your charge?
That was the charge.
Is that your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a motel? Is
No,
it a
ma'am.
hotel? Motel or hotel?
No, ma'am.
What is it?
It's a guitar store.
Does she play the guitar?
No, ma'am.
So it was your guitar.
It was equipment.
It was equipment. It wasn't a guitar.
for special effects.
Shh, just a second.
Sorry.
That's not a hotel. Explain me.
Okay. Some of the things she bought on the credit card were gifts. There was the one thing that she bought me at Guitar Center was microphones, but that was paid back in cash.
Did he pay you back for that?
No, ma'am. I have a copy of all the payments that were made. I have the checkbook.
You have any proof that you paid her back this $331 for the Guitar Center?
No, ma'am.
Perfect. $331. Then we have goodies. What is that? Is that your charge?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Music Gear, Columbus, Georgia. Is that a motel?
No, ma'am.
What is it?
That's a music store.
It's a music store for you.
I assume, yes.
What's Fat Tuesday? Gulf Shore, Alabama.
That's where he stayed. That's where they were playing at Fat Tuesdays.
Then we have oil, gasoline, I assume. In Awassa, Alabama. Some big gigs. $18. What's that?
I'm not sure.
Well, where do you come from?
Pine Mountain, Georgia.
In Georgia.
Pine Mountain.
So if there's a charge here from Alabama for gasoline, that would be you.
Not necessarily, because Columbus, Georgia, and Pine Mountain is right on the line to where you can. It's crossover in Alabama.
It's a 1 hour drive. May I say something, please? I had went through all the charges and I put it in order. First charge was the Guitar Center, where he bought equipment, $331. Goodies Columbus was where he bought clothing. Played against sports, he wanted to play golf while he was in Gulf Shores.
I'm looking at the credit card, Bill.
Okay, see, but I put it all in order.
Those are your lists. That's
in the
your
way.
list.
I thought it would be easier for you to look at.
No, I like to look here. I like to look here. Williams Super Center in Phoenix City, Alabama. What is that?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, maybe you'll explain it to me. Ms. Shuren.
That's the Walmart Supercenter in Phoenix City.
Oh, okay.
Walmart
WM.
Supercenter.
See, I'm so old-fashioned. It's the Walmart Supercenter. Do you know what that's for?
Is that the one for $240?
Yes.
That was a Nintendo. Your Honor.
Nintendo.
That was also a gift.
You didn't sleep on it or with it, did you?
No.
Where's the Nintendo?
It's at my house now.
Good, then you pay for it. $240.56. Old Glory Distribution T-shirts, $125.60. Is that a bill that you're charging to him?
It's all his, Your Honor. I never used any of it.
Any of his credit card?
No, the agreement was that I would get the credit card in my name for his use and that he would make the payments.
You mean all of these payments?
He would make payments on the credit card.
You never used this for yourself at all?
I never used any of it for my purpose.
Oh, okay. So I have to make sure that...
It was a brand new card, never used. The membership fee, $50. He went to Guitar Center to get equipment. He got golfing equipment to play golf. And then he went to Gulf Shores. And then there's gas, there's Fat Tuesdays where they played, his food, there's the hotel. And when he got back from the trip to Gulf Shores and I got the first credit card statement and saw how much he had charged, I told him that the next time he uses that card, he better bring me some receipts. And then that was the last that he used of it.
So the balance on this card, the new balance is $1,097, sir, and it's not all for lodging.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Shuren says ex-boyfriend Steve Brown owes for unpaid credit card charges. Steve says they're Kimberly's charges.
Guitar Center, eating, gasoline, a lot of gasoline, because I assume you did a lot of traveling with your band.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All these things that are on this card were not purchased by me or even for me.
Really? You want to look over this and tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
What?
I have a list.
Shh, shh, shh. Stop with your list.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to see your list. I want him to look at the actual charges on this credit card.
Go ahead and look at them.
Tell me which ones aren't yours, sir. Well, let's...
May I say something?
No.
Okay.
Ms. Shuren, you don't get any cameos or any awards for being stupid and giving somebody a credit card.
That's right.
Right? I've been saying that for enough years so that any normal person would not do that. Bert, how old is your oldest child?
18.
She have your credit card?
No, Judge. She watches the show, too.
Yeah, right. She may have asked.
No.
Didn't even ask.
Didn't even ask. Knew better.
Knew better.
She's got 2 jobs, though.
And you love her.
I'm crazy about her.
And she doesn't have your credit card.
And she can't have my credit card.
And you know her for 18 years.
I've known her all those years.
You got it, Ms. Shuren?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as
Okie dokie.
yes, ma'am. As far as everything on here, the only things I can't actually prove them, but the service merchandise, for 5862.
That was that blue boombox, the radio?
Mr. Brown, why don't you
Yes,
use your
ma'am.
own credit card?
Because he said it's
Shh. Why don't you use your own credit card?
I don't have one right now.
Is this the first time you've used a woman's credit card?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask the rest of the members of your band. All right. Well, I don't know what you marked here, sir.
I didn't mark anything. The only thing that's on there is the gas receipts. She acts as if she doesn't drive and put gas in her car.
No, what she's saying, sir, is she didn't use this credit card at all. That you used the credit card. You were going to look through this and tell me which charges were not yours.
There's no charges on there that I could prove that weren't mine.
Oh, what an easy case. My own information. How long did you know him before you gave him this credit card?
a year and a half.
Were you living together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who paid the rent?
I did, and my sister.
Who paid the telephone?
Me and my sister.
Who paid the gas and electric?
We did. Me and my sister.
So that went on for a year and a half before you gave him the credit card.
Yes.
Judgment for the
Your
plaintiff
Honor.
in the amount of $1,154.94. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
So I thought, since he wasn't paying any rent or any utilities, that he would at least have the money to pay the credit card.
Everything was fine until we broke up, and then she decided that I owed her for everything she's ever spent.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Coleman versus Denies. Step forward, please.
20-year-old sales associate Michelle Coleman is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old auto painter Brad Denies, for illegally repossessing her car. Brad is countersuing, claiming Michelle wrecked 2 of his cars.
Ms. Coleman, you and the defendant were engaged to be married, and according to your complaint, during the course of your engagement, you were not engaged.
We were not engaged.
That's a lie.
So I...
Don't. So then let's get to the second thing maybe we can agree on, that you bought a car.
Yes.
That is in both your names, as well as the car loan.
Yes.
Then, according to your complaint, you broke up, you kept the car. For some reason, which you will explain to me, the car was impounded. He got the car out of impound, paid the fees to get it out of impound, he kept the car. You want all the payments back that you made on the car plus your down payment. How much was the down payment?
$4,000.
He is counterclaiming for 2 cars that you allegedly damaged in April of 2000.
Yes.
Sir, do you admit or deny that she put down the down payment?
She used her check to put the down payment, yes. But half the money was mine because she owed me rent.
What'd she owe you rent from?
From the time we lived together, which was 9 months.
That's a lie. We never lived
Just a
together.
minute.
Yes, we did live together.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is part of the money was yours because she owed you money.
Yes,
Did you tell her that at the time?
yes.
Look at me and tell me what
Okay.
you said to her when you signed the papers for the car loan.
I said that we are going to go in this car together, 50-50, because you were saving up for a car. When you lived with me, I didn't make you pay no rent, no utilities, so you could save up for your own car.
And what?
And that's it.
And that's it. Okay. So let me explain something to you. You didn't put any money down towards the car. The fact, Mr. Denies, that you just said to me, there was an agreement, and I'm taking your word, that you did live together, and your agreement was that she wouldn't pay any bills, but save up to buy a car. That's what you just said to me.
Yes.
Fine. Put your hand down. She didn't owe you the money. So $4,000 you put down on the car.
Yes.
Okay. And then you drove the car for how many months?
About 4 months, 5 months.
Until what date did you drive the car?
The car was impounded in November. So November.
How was the car impounded? Under what circumstances?
I started seeing a new guy, and I loaned him the car. He didn't tell me he didn't have a license. He called me and told me that my car was impounded.
You got the car out of impound?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding you getting the car out of impound.
I called her about 2 weeks before it got out of impound, and I said, what are we going to do about the car? She says, well, if you bail it out, then you can take over the $800 payments. And I go, you want me to do that? She goes, I don't care.
Okay. Now, when he bailed the car out, when he got it out of impound December 18th, did you have any further conversation with him?
Yes, I did. I told him that I was going to fight for it because I wanted my car back.
So did you sue him in December?
No, I did not.
Did you sue him in January?
No, I did not.
Did you sue him in February?
No, I did not.
Did you sue him in March?
That's when I started getting everything going.
Did you sue him in March?
No, I did not.
What were you driving?
I had bought another car.
Right. How did I know that? How much did it cost you to get the car out of impound?
$805.
You have a receipt for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see it, please.
It was supposed to actually cost $795, but they charged us an extra $15 for cleanup of glass because her and her boyfriend broke a bunch of glass outside.
$805. So we are deducting $805 from the $4,000. Now let's get to your counterclaim. You say that while together she damaged 2 of your cars. You want to tell me about that, Miss Coleman?
I was pulling into the driveway, and his 66 Mustang doesn't have power steering, and I didn't turn it hard enough, and I dented the door of his other car.
Do you have a paid bill with regard to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please?
Yeah, it's both of them.
These are estimates. Was the work done on the car?
Those are receipts, actually, ma'am.
They're both preliminary estimates.
Ma'am, he did all the work himself.
It says, if you read in it, it says paid in cash, and it has a date that it was paid in cash. My father paid for it.
What, sir? Step up.
Your Honor, those are copies of the original.
Who paid this money?
I did.
Well, let's see if this gentleman knows anything about this.
There was nothing wrong with the quarter panel.
Yes, good morning. This is Judge Judy Scheindlin. Who am I speaking to? Can you tell me what your job is there? You're a paint prepper. Okay. Do you work on most of the cars that come through there? Okay. I have Brad Denys, D-E-N-Y-S. Do you know him? Do you recall doing any work on a 1966 Ford Mustang and a 1992 Ford Mustang? You don't. If work was done on those 2 cars, you know, the old Mustangs, and it involved painting, that would have been your job. So you do all of that, okay? And you have not worked on either a 66 or a 92 Ford Mustang? No. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. They didn't paint your car there.
Yes, they did.
You know who was on the phone? The only person in the shop that does the paint prep work on cars. I'm going to dismiss without prejudice your counterclaim. The 4 months in car payments that you paid, you had the use of your car. You drove it.
Yes.
Pay for it. He's not going to pay for that. And I find that through your own negligence, you allowed your car to be driven by someone who had absolutely no reason to drive your car because they had a bad license.
Yes.
And in order to get the car out of the impound, he, in fact, had to pay $805 to do that.
I had the money to go down.
And I further find that you had no intention of getting the car out because you went and you bought yourself a new car. So I am deducting the $805 from the $4,000 that you put down as a down payment. What are you doing with this car now, Mr. Denies?
I drive it.
Good. So you put down for that car $3,195. That was your down payment. That you have to pay her back.
$1,500 of the dollars was towards tax. $1,500 also was toward a extended warranty, which I did not want.
Who cares? You got it. You bought it. And you're going to enjoy it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,195. That's all.
45-year-old CPA Lynn Lemke is suing her ex-boyfriend, 47-year-old counselor John Mungo, for an unpaid loan to keep him out of jail, the return of a car, and an assault.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 256 on the calendar in the matter of Lemke versus Mungo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Lemke, the defendant was a former boyfriend of yours. According to your complaint, he owes you for 3 things. He owes you for money that you loaned to him at one point when he was facing incarceration. He owes you for the value of a car, which you say you purchased, although it was in his name, it was supposed to be your car, and that he owes you for damages as a result of an assault that took place over a year ago. Is that right?
That's correct.
I assume that the loan that kept him out of jail was the first money that you're suing for. Is that right?
Yes.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding that loan.
John was, faced going to jail for child support arrearages. And the day that he was to appear in court, we took the bus up together. And then I overheard his, discussion with the DA and that he needed $750 to take him, him out of jail. And we agreed that I would, loan him the money and that he would repay me when he was able to.
Well, how did that come about? What did you say to him and what did he say to you?
Well, what I said to him was that I had $750. Just don't worry about it. You can repay me, when you're able to. I have $400 cash in my wallet and we can go down to an ATM.
Tell me about, sir, your version of the $750, which you acknowledge that the plaintiff paid in order to keep you out of jail.
The $750, Lynn had offered to give me $700.
Tell me how it came about.
Oh, that's I was trying to do that.
No, start
before we went to court, several days before she.
Look at me.
Yes, ma'am. She volunteered, said, I could give you some money to stay out. And I said, absolutely not. I don't want to do it because I would feel obligated. So a few days went by and I was supposed to turn myself in. So we went, and then when we got into out in the hallway, the public defender said, well, do you have the money? I said, no, I don't. And he says, I have it. And he said, well, are you going to use it? I said, absolutely not. I don't want to because I feel like I'm obligated. I cannot pay her back. And then she said, he said, well, do it. I said, no. So he left. And then he came back again and said, why don't you do it? And I said, well, and we thought about it. And I said, he convinced me to do it. I paid it, and then we went home, and that was it.
So it's not your fault, and it's not her fault. It's the public defender's fault.
No, she offered this money to me in front of Mr. Coleman here.
Just a second, but you said
yes.
That you declined to take it.
Yes, I did.
Because you would have felt obligated to repay it.
Yes.
And then you said that the district attorney or the public defender forced you to do it.
He did not force me. He coerced me into it.
He coaxed you to do it, and you did it.
Yes.
And I assume, therefore, that your initial reason for not wanting to take the money in the first place still held true, that you would have felt obligated to repay it. That's what you just told me.
That's correct.
So you took the money, and I assume you still felt obligated to repay it.
I did?
Well, then I'm asking you that. What happened, sir, between the time you walked into the courthouse when you would have felt obligated to repay the money if the plaintiff gave you the money and the time you actually took the money?
She told me it was a gift, and I
Is that
would
what
not
you-
have to pay her.
That is...
Absolutely.
No.
Well, Mr.
No, she
Coleman
didn't
here
say...
heard her say it in his house.
Just a second, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
She never used the words gift. This is a gift that I'm making to you,
Yes,
John.
she did.
No. She never did.
Well, that's not what she's telling you.
That's not what I believe.
Oh.
I wouldn't believe it if you told me, because I don't know if I'd believe anything you told me. I certainly wouldn't believe it if he told to me. I'm telling you, she didn't give you the money. She may have said to you, I want you to take it, and you can pay me back when you can.
Yes.
That she might have said. All right, let's move on to number 2. Let's move on to car. How much did you purchase this car for?
$625.
$625. So it wasn't a Jaguar.
No.
And it wasn't a brand new car.
Absolutely not.
And you had no driver's license.
That's correct.
So you purchased the car and you put the car in his name.
Not at the time of purchase, but yes, eventually.
When did you purchase the car?
June 29th.
What were you going to do with a car that you couldn't drive?
Well, I had wanted a car for a long time, as
just to look at it?
Friends had known. Of course not.
Well, what were you going to do with it?
Have other people drive it for me so that I could get around until I have a driver's license.
So you must have discussed with him driving you around.
No, not necessarily Mr. Mungo. My roommate, John Coleman.
Oh.
And no decision had been made whether it even be either one of these persons, people.
Whatever. You put the car ultimately in his name. Tell me when.
It was in July.
So you went down to Motor Vehicles and put the car, after you had had it for some time, in the defendant's name.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Mungo, according to you, there came a time when plaintiff came to reside with you in your home. Is that right?
Yes.
When was that?
Let me see here. I have the date right here. It's on the bill of sale that we use, a copy of the bill of sale that we used for the transfer of the automobile, which was dated 7/18/2000.
That's when she came to live with you?
Yes, came to stay with me.
How long did she stay with you?
2 months and 5 days.
And according to you, Mr. Mungo, your arrangement was that she could live with you rent-free and give you the car.
Correct.
Miss Lemke, did you pay any rent? Miss Lemke, pay attention.
No, I did not, and I do not remember that document at all.
Should look at me. Could you look at me?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
And was it about the time you went to live with him because you had problems with your old roommate? That's why you moved out.
He locked me out of the house,
Your old roommate locked you out of the house?
Yes.
And you went to live with Mr. Mungo. And at the same time that you went to live with Mr. Mungo, was that the time you went down to Motor Vehicles and transferred the title to the car to his name? That's what he says.
No, when I went to live with Mr. Mungo, I was only going there for some place to sleep the night I was locked out.
But you stayed for 2 months.
That's correct, and I contracted bronchitis, had severe pneumonia in
All the time
August.
you were in Mr. Mungo's house?
Yes, I was.
And you did not pay any rent?
While I was taking care of him.
Shh. You did not pay any rent?
No, but I bought food and whatever, yeah.
You did
no,
not pay
I
any...
paid no rent, no.
Oh, okay. And he took care of you when you were sick?
No.
Who took care of you?
I took care of myself.
Okay. Let's get to item number 3. Tell me about this alleged assault. When did it take place?
September 11th.
What happened on September 11th?
I mentioned something about the car, the subject I would avoid because of his fiery temper whenever the subject came up. There'd been a lot of verbal abuse.
So you started to talk about the car. He didn't want to talk about the car.
He ran from the back of his house in a fiery rage and punched me as a boxer's punch right here.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lynn Lemke says ex-boyfriend John Mungo owes for an unpaid loan and the return of a car. Lynn also claims John charged her in a fiery rage and punched her.
Do you have a police report?
The police said that a police report could not be issued.
Police issue a police report when there's an assault. Do you have any photographs of your injuries as a result of the assault?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
That was a couple weeks later. This is about 5 weeks later. 6, maybe.
Okay, let me hear your version of what happened on this date on September 11th.
Well, Miss Lemke is an alcoholic, and she was drinking 24/7 every day for 2 months. her idea of being
For the
sick
2
with
months that she was living with you?
Yes. Her idea of being sick with bronchitis is drinking a 1.7 liter of Jack Daniels and barfing all over the place. I had my son at my house. He was, I believe, 3 years old, and she was told when he's around and you're drinking, please do not talk to him and leave him alone. We were in the bathroom, and she came in, and she grabbed me by the arms. She was shaking me and screaming at me, and I could see the fillings in her teeth. And I broke loose from her, and I went outside. And before I went outside, my little boy was hitting her on the leg like this, saying, stop. He could see that there was this anger, and it was getting him upset. So we went outside, and my little boy kept trying to protect me, and then she went to grab him. And as she grabbed him, he kind of turned upside down, and she spiraled down into the brick fence, and he kind of kicked her in the face. And
Oh my God, that's
and
an outright lie.
basically, I just was horrified. I said, "Oh, you've got to go." I didn't want her to be there anymore, and she kept
I
wondering.
don't know why she was there in the first place, sir.
She was there because she was so combative with John. He couldn't have her living at his house anymore. He locked her out.
So she had other places to go. She could rent a room someplace. Go
Yes,
to
she
why?
could.
So why was she living with you, sir? You're telling me she's an alcoholic. You had
I
your
wanted my
3-year-old
car
son.
back.
I think
That's
she was
what I wanted,
crazy mad in
and I
love
was
with me,
sick.
to tell you the truth.
Well,
We were having a torrid love affair.
You were having a torrid love affair
At times.
with somebody who you say was a complete alcoholic? When you have a torrid love affair with someone who is blind on Jack Daniels for 2 straight months.
How?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Not for you, maybe. Not for you, maybe. Okay. What happened as a result of this assault? Were you ever contacted by the police?
Police, well, when after this happened, I picked, my son was supposed to go home to his mother. I spent the night over there. I didn't want to come back home. And apparently the police came out, and the policeman said, I think, ma'am, you must have fallen off the porch and hurt yourself.
Don't tell me what the police said to her.
Well, he was there to hear it.
This is
Hearsay.
unbelievable.
Okay. Hearsay?
Hearsay.
Oh,
This
okay.
is.
Okay. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
You're despicable.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Quite frankly, Miss Lemke, if someone had assaulted me, causing this kind of injury,
Yes.
then there would have been a police report, there would have been a police prosecution for domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
And
2
I
weeks
cannot
later, I went to court. I went to jail for domestic violence, Your Honor.
And I cannot understand, madam, why you would not follow up on this case that happened over a year ago. Why?
I've been sick for months.
Okay, you're going to get your $750 bail money back. You are not going to get your car back because I do believe Mr. Mungo, and believe me, it was a real stretch because it's hard to believe him about a lot of things. I do believe that he agreed to have you live there rent-free in exchange for this $625 car that you would put in his name anyway. As far as your request for damages with regard to the assault, I am not quite sure how this happened. And it is quite possible that you were, in fact, intoxicated at the time, and you're not sure how it happened either. So this is the judgment of the court. You keep the car, and you give her $750 for the bail money. You got me? Good, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Lady Smirnoff?
He bought alcohol for me.
I think she's still in love with me, and she just wants to have some type of contact.
In fact, he had stated he liked me better drunk than sober because he wanted anything from me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Astuto versus Curley, step forward, please.
23-year-old secretary Joan Astuto is suing her ex-fiancé, 25-year-old tile setter Sean Curley, for half the cost of a wedding that never happened.
Mrs. Studo, according to your complaint, you had a long relationship with the defendant, spanning a little over 5 years.
Yes.
You have a child together.
Yes.
And at some point, you decided to get married. He proposed and gave you a ring.
Yes. I picked it out. I put down 80 towards it, and he put the rest.
Okay, how much was the ring?
It was a little over $200. I put down 156.
Okay. And then there came a time when you started to plan the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And you put some money down on various things for the wedding, a hall, a DJ, all totaling about $700. And then in September, you decided this was not going to work out. You called off the wedding and moved out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you put the money down on?
The reception hall at the Spartan Manor.
How much was that?
600.
Yeah.
And 95 towards the DJ.
Who was going to pay for the wedding?
We were both, but I put down the money for the DJ. And
Tell me the discussion that you had.
Well, I discussed on where to have it, and we agreed at the Spartan Manor, and then we went together to the reception site and put down the deposit.
Okay, and how come you put down the deposit?
Because I was the one who had the money.
I didn't have the lump sum of $600 to put down at the time.
At the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about the DJ?
I told him how I was booking that DJ, and he agreed.
I don't remember anything like that.
How did you think this wedding was going to get paid for?
Very slowly.
What do you mean very slowly? What does that mean?
Basically,
Don't look down. Look up at me.
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Week for week until it was paid off. The $600 was a down payment, and then they wanted payment after that every week, and I would have to pay that.
Oh, that's perfect. So it was your intention, Mr. Curley, despite your answer, that you intended to pay for this wedding together.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you think you were at least partially responsible for the down payments that she put down?
She kept the engagement ring.
Did you keep the engagement ring?
Yes.
Oh, well, he has to be given credit for that. Why didn't you give it back to him?
Because he left.
So what?
I also paid $80 for that wedding ring.
Okay, but he paid $156, right?
Or how about I just give him his ring back?
Oh, fine. Where is it?
I can do that. It's at my house.
Oh, it's easier. So I don't have to deal with that later. We'll just take off the $156. The entire cost that you put down was $700. Half of that would be $350. So that's $194.
I also left my house, gave it to her, $48,000, fully furnished. We have a child together, and
Yes.
I left them two in the house.
How much equity is there in the house?
Nothing. We just bought it a year ago.
How much of a down payment did you put down?
A little over $1,000.
So you didn't leave her with a $48,000 house, you left her with a $47,000 debt. You have a daughter together?
Yes, ma'am.
Paying child support?
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
I pay, right now it's not court ordered, but I'm paying $88 every week. We do have a court date for that in a couple weeks to determine child support.
And do you visit with your daughter regularly?
No, I haven't seen her since Christmas Day of 2000.
Why is that?
She has not let me see her.
Why is that?
I've told him he can come to the house and pick her up, and he refuses.
I've had threats from her house.
You know, I've done in the last
Just a
5
second.
years
Just
for
a
him
second.
enough. I am, I'm not his mother. I don't want to be his mother anymore.
I'm not interested in whether you want to be his mother anymore. So you say that you've told him that he can come to the house and pick up your
numerous
daughter.
times.
What does he want you to do?
He says no. He says to meet me at the police station. This weekend, I called him to meet him at the police station. I talked to his girlfriend and argued with her on the phone.
Just a second. So he was smart and he indicated to you, just meet me for pickup and delivery at the police station. If he's afraid of some altercation that might take place when he comes to pick up the child in your home, then usually when I was full-time sitting family court judge, I would make pickup and return in some neutral place where there were people around so that would avoid confrontation between two people who don't get along. So picking up and returning the child at the police station is a very good idea.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He has to see his daughter. You have absolutely no right to keep the child from him. None. And I would assume that when you go to court, you make sure that you tell the judge when you go to court, Mr. Curley,
Yes, ma'am.
that what you had suggested because of the problems was a pickup and return in a neutral spot, and she had rejected that.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no question that the court will order visitation because whether it worked out between the two of you or not, your child has a right to spend time with you.
Yes, ma'am.
So judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $194. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
29-year-old Autumn Decker and her son, 5-year-old Connor, are suing 44-year-old Marie Moore. Autumn says Marie's Malamute puppy bit Connor in the face.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 261 on the calendar in the matter of Decker versus Moore. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mrs. Decker, the defendant's dog bit your son on the face.
Yes.
The defendant does not deny that her dog bit your son, but her defense is that you failed to supervise your son, and that's really why he was bitten. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. When did this happen?
On September 9th.
Where were you?
We were at Riverside Park in Grand Rapids at a Indian powwow.
How large is this powwow? How many people attend the powwow?
A couple hundred.
Was it crowded?
Fairly.
What time did it happen?
Approximately between 3 and 3:30 in the afternoon.
Where was your son?
We had gotten back with food and he was about 5 feet behind me. We were sitting in the booth.
What booth?
My friend's stepfather owns a jewelry booth and then her mother has a candy booth and we were with them.
Who was watching your son?
He was amongst all the other kids.
How many other kids?
4.
You didn't see this attack?
No.
How old is he?
5.
Is he smart 5?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Connor.
Connor. Connor, would you come and sit up here for me? Because I can't see you over that high table.
Can you get up there? Here we go.
Hi, Connor. Do you know who I am? You know my
Judge Judy.
Right. Do you know what my job is? Do you know that you're in a court? Do you know what happens in a court? Did your mom tell you?
No.
Well, let me tell you. In a court, 2 people have a disagreement, and I'm supposed to make a decision as to who's right and who's wrong. You understand that? So it's very important that the people who tell me things in court tell me only the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the truth is?
Yeah. People tell the truth.
Hopefully, they always tell the truth. Do you always tell the truth? Do you remember when you were at the powwow in Riverside Park? Remember that day? Do you remember the day you got bitten by the dog?
Yeah, it did.
It did what?
Me right here.
Do you remember what the dog looked like? Don't remember. That's maybe a good thing.
He does.
Was it a big dog or a little dog, Connor?
Big.
Did you go up to the dog to pet it?
Yeah.
And what happened when you went up to the dog to pet it?
Her asked me if I wanted to pet it, and I said yes. And
Who asked you?
the lady, and I said yeah, and I said it to pet it, and it bit me.
So the lady asked you if you wanted to pet it. Did any of the other children want to pet the dog?
Shane did, and it didn't bit him.
It didn't. Show me where the dog bit you, Connor.
Right here, and you can't really see that one.
Did the lady who had the dog help you after the dog bit you? Who came to help you?
My mom.
All right, Connor, you can go and sit down over there. Okay, what happened immediately after your son was bitten?
When I heard him scream, I got up. I had put my food down, turned around. Somebody was holding him. I don't know if it was the defendant or my friend's mother. I wasn't even paying attention. I immediately grabbed him. Somebody was handing me a paper towel, and I was going for first aid. And I saw out of the corner of my eye the defendants headed towards the parking lot with the dog.
What kind of dog was it?
A white Malamute.
That's a pretty big dog.
Yes.
Connor went to the hospital?
Yes.
And what happened at the hospital?
We waited for approximately 5 hours, and then they sedated him and gave him 9 stitches in the face.
Did you have consultations with plastic surgeons with regard to the scar on his face?
They do not want to see him until the scars are at least 6 months old.
Now I'll hear your version of the story.
We were at the Indian powwow the 9th of September. My friend Wolf Runner and his wife had booths. There are thousands of people there. It's a very large Indian gathering.
So it's very crowded?
Very, very noisy. A lot of people coming and going. We were behind his booth. The 3 children that were together, my friend Wolf Runner introduced to me as his grandchildren. Connor being one of them, and the other boy being another, and there was one other. I don't know his name.
There were a lot of other dogs there?
Quite a few, on leashes, just like mine.
Mm-hmm.
We kept mine by the booth. The little boy brother had pet the dog. I was sitting right there. The dog was on his haunches, sitting. Not a problem. We were very careful. He is a big puppy. He's still a puppy.
How old is he?
He's 1.5 years old. I have pictures.
I'd like to see the picture.
Okay. We were in back of the booths getting ready to say goodbye to my friends Bunny and Wolf Runner. The dog was sitting on his haunches, My friend Rick, my witness, had the dog by the leash. I had him by the collar. The little boy wanted to pet him. The dog never got up off his butt. He petted the dog's nose. My dog never growled, barked, nothing. I don't know what happened. He turned his head. The dog, within a second or less, grabbed his face. Rick had him down on the ground. I picked the little boy up. He was still standing. I called Bonnie, who I thought was his grandmother. That's who I was introduced to. And Bonnie came running out, and I handed the little boy to his mother, if that's who it was. And the dog was never loose nor anything.
I understand that.
Yeah.
There's no question that the dog was on a leash.
Right. And after the bite, Wolf Runner said, "Get the dog out of here." I don't know what agitated it. Get him out. I said, "Please let me know as soon as possible." And he said he would.
Okay. Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Richard Skyle.
Mr. Skyle, if you were to relate to me the events of that afternoon, would they be pretty much consistent with what the defendant had just told me?
Yes, ma'am.
So the little boy did absolutely nothing to the dog?
No.
The little boy came up, touched the dog on the nose. The dog did not flinch. He didn't torment the dog. He didn't spook the dog. And the dog, when he turned his face, the dog just went for him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Autumn Decker says her son, 5-year-old Connor, was bitten in the face by Marie Moore's dog.
It's not a difficult case. Here we have a situation where you have a child who's been injured by your dog. I don't even have to ask you whether your dog has bitten anybody else before.
No.
I assume not.
Never.
But the dog did bite this child.
Yes, he did.
And who should bear, first, the financial cost of the doctor's bills, et cetera, with regard to the dog? Clearly, you have to do that. You know, it's always difficult when you take a dog to a large gathering. I'm a dog owner, and I know that even my little dog gets a little nervous when they're around so many, she said hundreds, you said thousands of people. When you have a big dog that's around thousands of people and there are kids, you sometimes run the risk of your dog becoming more agitated than normal, more anxious than normal. So you are clearly responsible. I don't think that you're bad people. You did have your dog on a leash, but you're clearly responsible. I don't buy into this sometimes artificial statutory scheme which says that every dog is entitled to one bite before the owners are liable. In my view, which is, I believe, the common law view of this kind of situation, you have an innocent party and a guilty party. The guilty party had a dog, looks like a lovely animal, but certainly capable of doing damage, and did damage, and you're responsible, absolutely. Your request for judgment is for $3,000, which I assume includes your medical bills and whatever plastic surgery Connor is going to have to fix that scar on his face. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She filed enough papers in our county that they came to my home and took my dog and killed him.
Any dog that bites, especially a child, should automatically be euthanized after the quarantine.
The lady asked me if I wanted to pet it, and I said, yeah, and I came up to pet it, and it bit me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Punterero versus Peach. Step forward, please.
22-year-old student Corinne Punterero is suing her ex-roommate, 22-year-old student Rebecca Peach, for breaking a lease. Rebecca says she moved out because she needed gallbladder surgery.
Ms. Pontuero, according to your complaint, you and the defendant know each other from college, and you had decided to room together for this coming year.
Yes.
When did you sign the lease?
Last year.
What month?
I believe it was in April.
And at some time, about a month later, the defendant decided that she did not want to live with you, and you've had to move into this rental by yourself. You want her to pay her share of the year's rent.
Yes, it's a 3-bedroom apartment. There's me and one other housemate. And with her not living there, we're responsible for her rent. Our landlord is now taking us to court for her part of the rent. In the lease, it says that no matter what, you're jointly and severely responsible for fulfillment of the lease.
Severally, not severely, severally. Let me have the lease, please.
I have this from both years.
Okay. When did you change your mind?
I actually have an email I've written to Corinne. It's dated June 12th. That states that I won't be coming.
It's dated what?
June 12th.
Okay, you changed your mind June 12th.
It wasn't so much changing my mind. I was very ill. Corinne and I were disagreeing with not a very good living environment for myself. And I have doctors, notes, everything. It was impossible for me to come back to school.
So then what did you do to try to get a new roommate?
With me being sick, it was hard.
What were you sick with?
I had my gallbladder taken out 2 years ago. I vomit a lot. I throw up a lot. That's why I had written her the email to let her know that I won't be back, that I'm gonna need help with this.
Let me see the email.
I have it highlighted where I said I wasn't gonna be back.
You were all supposed to move in on the end of August. Is that right?
Yeah.
And according to this lease, the landlord wanted payments for the rent in two parts, $4,000 in the beginning of one semester, and then in the spring semester, another $4,000. The spring semester doesn't start until when? February, March?
January.
January. And what you're suing her for is really 1/3 of the entire lease. Is that right?
Yes.
I don't know about this vacuum cleaner and television set.
Your Honor, I also have an email dated June 12th also. She never said anything about being sick. She never gave me that reason.
We were fighting. I didn't feel the reason. I need to explain myself.
Well, it's a rather nasty email, and it seems to me a lot of other things going on other than just your former gallbladder condition, Ms. Peach. You had an obligation to try to locate a third roommate to take over your obligation under the lease.
I understand that.
You have an obligation to what they call ameliorate your damages, which means you too have to make an effort to locate a third roommate.
We posted these all around campus, and usually when everybody looks for an apartment, you sign the lease well ahead of time. Right now, everybody in school already has signed leases for their living arrangements next year. So finding a roommate now is next to impossible because everybody already has their apartment.
Well, at this point, yes, but probably not in June, and certainly not for the spring semester.
Well, we've been looking. We found
because
somebody...
situations change, so there is no way that I'm going to grant you an award for the entire amount of the rent that's due and owing, because the spring semester is a whole different scenario. Having had kids in school, I know that after a few months in college, situations change. And kids say, I don't like living with you, and I don't like living with you. I'm going to look for a new roommate. You make new friends, so you can find yourself in a position of filling up that third bedroom, which I'm sure you use now occasionally anyway. You have visitors come up and they use that room?
Actually, it's pretty empty.
That's not what I asked you. I said, do you sometimes have visitors, friends come up and use that room? Parents, anybody else?
Not that room, no.
They don't use that room. It just stands as a shrine to the defendant. What's next?
If I may interject for a second.
Sure.
The TV we had bought together, I had left her half the money for it when I moved out in the summertime. And the vacuum cleaner, I don't remember us having one second semester because our first semester housemate took it with her. We didn't have a vacuum the second semester.
Well, that's what some of the other things she's suing for, a vacuum cleaner and a television set.
I had gotten a phone call from the Fredonia Police Department about me stealing a television and a vacuum cleaner. Now, when I went up to school, I made sure nobody was there. I took all of my stuff out, left her half the money for the TV we bought together, which was $60.
And did you take the TV?
And I took the TV with me. And I did not take the vacuum. I'm living at home. I don't need the vacuum cleaner.
At the time, I didn't know she had left the money because my other housemate had set it aside for me, but she wasn't home. So I went to the police department and I filled out this report, and I find it hard to believe that the TV and all her stuff would be gone, along with the vacuum cleaner.
Well,
but
she says she took the TV, but she left you money, which you acknowledge because your roommate had the money.
Yeah, she took
and just
the money.
didn't tell you, so you included the TV in the police report that you filed against her, and the TV should not have been included in that police report.
Well, she says that we bought the TV together, and we did not. I bought it on my credit card, and I have the receipt here if you want.
We split that.
Well, it's very possible you put it on your... I'm not going to get involved with $60 for a television
That's fine
set.
too, but I did not take a vacuum cleaner.
There's no proof that you took the vacuum cleaner. What's next?
Well, I have all the copies of the bills from last semester. That some of them we still owe, some of them are in her name, some of them are in mine.
I just got a $617 phone bill in my name, which I don't know why it's still in my name, but I just received this phone bill from the phone company.
Let me see. Why don't you, Bert, instead of my looking at them, why don't you have them exchange these bills and look at them?
Your Honor, I acknowledge these bills.
Good.
What I want to say is that I never received them to pay them.
Okay, so there are $624.17 in bills that she says that you owe from last semester, and you got a phone bill for $600.
And $17, yes.
Right?
Actually, all these numbers are her numbers. They're all in Long Island. They're all West Palm Beach.
There's Buffalo in there, Williamsville from her town. So
Well, I will be glad to go through them and find out which ones are mine, but the vast majority of them are from hers.
Let me see. You expect me to go through all these charges?
No.
Good. Then step outside. Call you back in 5 minutes. Here, Bert, send them outside, please. Thank you. Okay, so who was Talkie Sally?
Well, I went over the long distance bills, highlighted what I owe, everything from the Buffalo and Buffalo area, and I owe $9.30.
Is that right?
I guess so. I didn't really look at it.
What do you mean?
She had
you
it.
didn't
She had
really
the
look?
calculator. I was.
All right, so let me see the entire phone bill, please. All right, Miss Peach.
Yes.
So from your phone bill of $617, the plaintiff owes you $9.30.
That's fine.
So it's a good lesson. Miss Peach, your lesson is as follows. How old are you?
22.
If you're 22, you're an adult. When you're an adult and you enter into a contract, you are obligated to fulfill your contract. You're no longer a kid. But you have an obligation, too, to reduce your damages. You can't sit there with a 3-bedroom apartment and say, well, now I have a bedroom for myself, a bedroom for my roommate, and I got a whole area for storage. Don't play with paper when I'm talking to you. It's rude. So I believe that you are entitled to this semester's portion of her rent for the fall semester, because I agree with you that it could have been difficult in June to try to find a new roommate. That doesn't mean that I believe that you can't find somebody else for the spring semester. Now, that doesn't mean that you necessarily don't have a cause of action against her if, in the spring semester, after a good faith effort to locate another roommate, you're not able to locate another roommate. This award will cover this semester's rent, clear, plus your utility bills from last year. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,948. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Is suing her boyfriend's niece, 23-year-old correctional officer Georgia Garza, for keying her truck. Georgia says Mary Ann is vicious and is making up a story.
Order. All rise. Yes, case number 338 on the calendar in the matter of Kaiser versus Garza. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Kaiser, the defendant is your boyfriend's niece.
Correct.
Boyfriend?
Yes.
Niece.
Correct.
And it is your claim that she vandalized your car by keying it.
Correct.
According to you, Ms. Garza, your uncle was highly inebriated.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't drive home from a club or a party that you were at?
That's correct.
So you and a friend decided to drive him home.
Yes, ma'am.
Where he was living with the plaintiff.
Yes, ma'am.
And what date was this? Do you remember?
We had went out on Thursday. It was July the 20th. And we left the club approximately at about 2:30 in the morning.
Were you with your uncle?
No. I was there with a friend, and we ran into him.
What made you think he was too drunk to drive home?
Because he was stumbling, and the guy from the door had taken his keys because he had parked right in front of the door.
So you volunteered to drive his car home?
That's correct.
What happened when you got to the house?
When we got to the house, Mary Ann had locked the door, and he was upset. We had to help him up the stairs. He started banging on the door. She came out. She started cursing and yelling that I had him out, and she was just saying all sorts of types of stuff. And we just helped him in the apartment. She kept telling us that we had to leave, and she was yelling at us. And my uncle was wanting us to stay there because he wanted us to drink another beer with him. And I was telling him...
That was the last thing you needed.
I was telling him that I had to go because I had to go home to my baby. And she was telling me to leave, and my uncle was persistent. And then they got into altercation. We proceeded towards the door. My friend opened the door. When she opened the door slammed because it was kind of windy outside. And she started cursing again. We were walking down the stairs. We just ignored her because she looked intoxicated herself. She was yelling at us down the stairs, and we just ignored her because she was making an idiot out of herself.
Okay. And you went home?
That's correct.
Okay. So your boyfriend went out that night.
Right.
Had he asked you to join him?
No.
Were you annoyed with him?
We were mad at each other at the time. So he decided to leave on his own. So he went.
And they came home?
They came home at approximately 2:35 in the morning.
Go ahead.
They stood at the door. When I opened the door, I said, "What are they doing here?" And he said, "Well, they're here to have a drink with me." And I said, "Well, they're not going to have a drink with you." She said, "Well, I had to drive him home." And I said, "Well, fine, thank you. Give me the keys." So I get the keys. They still step in. I stood by the door, and I told him, "You're not going to have another beer, so you might as well leave." Then I asked him, I said, "Who is this other girl?" He goes, "I don't know. It's her friend." And she goes, "My friend Lori." I said, "What are you doing bringing strangers home?" And then he goes, "Well,
you
they
were
just
wrong
gave-"
at that. You were wrong at that point.
And I asked him.
Because you didn't know the story.
That she drove him home?
You didn't know the whole story. I mean, if she was with her friend and they were leaving the club,
well, they
and
were
he was drunk, and he was drunk, they weren't together.
Well, she had
why
already
are you
told
being
me.
Why are you being aggressive to her at all?
Because her and I do not communicate. She drove him home fine. I said, "Thank you. Give me the keys." She gave them to me, and I said, "You guys can go home. You're not going to have another beer."
Okay, go ahead. No, she didn't
Not
say.
now.
Now listen to me, Ms. Kaiser. She didn't say she was going to have another beer. Your drunken boyfriend said.
She said he wants us to have another beer. I said, "You're not going to have another beer." So I repeatedly asked him to leave again and again, and they still wouldn't. So then I started, getting upset. Yes, I did. Her friend Lori slams the door open, rushes down the stairs. She starts cursing me, and she goes after her, doing the same thing too downstairs. So I did it up here. I did it up here too, yes. A few minutes later, I go try to move my truck from the back to the front, and I see them keying my truck. So I didn't say anything. I let them do it. I came back in, came to get him. He was out already.
You said that you saw them key your truck? What were you going out to move your truck for at 2:30?
I was going to move it to the front.
Why?
Because I don't normally park it in the back. I always park it at the front. But there was no parking space at the time.
Yeah.
When they left, I saw that there was a space right there, so I went to go move my truck. And there they were.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
I'm sorry?
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I just decided to go move it, and there they were. And it was a good thing I did. I saw them.
What did you see her do?
Writing all kinds of things on my truck. They were keying it, both of them.
Let me see the damage to the truck. You file a police report?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I'd like to see it, please.
One of her favorite words is on my truck, too.
Is this the only police report you have, Miss Kaiser?
Yes, ma'am.
And you spoke to somebody on the phone? Or
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
go there?
No, I spoke to them over the phone. She said, "You might as well just give me everything over the phone because they're not going to do anything about it."
That's not true.
No, well, they were going to do the same procedure she was going to do with me over the phone.
The police would have done something about it, Miss Kaiser, if you had said to them on the phone, "I saw who did the damage." But you didn't say that to the police.
Yes, I told them.
No, you didn't. I contacted Miss Kaiser by phone in reference to the criminal mischief. Victim 1, that's you, believes Miss Garza involved party 1 and an acquaintance may have done the listed damage to the vehicle while it was parked at the above location, but is not sure.
They did do these damages to my truck.
Victim 1 stated that there are some vulgar words
And
keyed on the
Georgia
vehicle.
knows. She knows that they did it. I
That's
know.
not my question, Miss Kaiser. You give a police report. If you say to the police, "My car was vandalized and I saw the perpetrators do it," then they write down perpetrator 1 keyed car, perpetrator 2 keyed car. I'm going to read to you again, but the police department says you told them on the phone. Victim 1 believes Miss Garza and an acquaintance may have done the damage to her vehicle while it was parked at the above location, but is not sure.
I told them I know it was them.
You didn't tell them that you saw them do the damage, Miss
Yes, I did.
Kaiser.
I saw
No,
them.
you didn't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marianne Kaiser says her boyfriend's niece, Georgia Garza, keyed nasty slurs into the side of her truck.
Now, I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I want you to trust me. I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I'm saying that you just lied to me when you said you saw them do it. Because you didn't see them do it. You surmised that they did it because the car was in one condition when you parked it. It was in this condition the next day when you went out to look at it. Not at 3 o'clock in the morning, but the next day when you went out to look at it or when you went to drive it. And the only ones who had an opportunity, an inclination to do the damage is her.
Right.
And her friend.
They did it.
But, Miss Kaiser, I want you to try to pay attention. I'm not saying they didn't do it. I'm saying you lied to me when you told me a moment ago that you saw them do it. Because if you saw them do it, that's what you would have told the police, and you didn't. You said you believe it was her, you believe it was her girlfriend, but you're not sure, which is why they didn't go out and arrest them. Now I'm going to get to you. You keyed her car.
No.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, honey, yes, you did.
Why would I key her car if I don't even talk to her? Let there be one idiot, not two. She was the one yelling at the top of her lungs.
Miss Garza, there isn't a question in my mind that you keyed her car. You and your girlfriend keyed her car because you were out at the club all night, probably had a couple of drinks. You left your baby home, so you had to rush home to your baby at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's normal. But here you did a good deed by driving your uncle home, and what you were met with was this lady who was being very unpleasant to you. Unpleasant, rude,
right?
No question. Threw you out of the house. You drove your uncle home. You went out of your way. She was nasty to your girlfriend. She was nasty to you. You got outside, and you keyed her car.
Your Honor, she works at a bar. It could have been anybody.
Could have been, but I'm telling you it wasn't. It was you. Let me see the damage. Can I see the bill to fix the car, please? Now, ordinarily, Miss Kaiser, I want to tell you something. I would throw you out. I want you to listen carefully. And so would most judges throw you out if you come into court and you don't tell the truth. They would say, I don't care whether your claim is a valid one or not. You come into court and you lie. I'm not going to entertain your case. But in this particular case, since I am 100% certain that she and her girlfriend caused the damage to your car, and since there also isn't a question in my mind that the police said to you, if you didn't see who actually did it, then you just surmise it's her. There's nothing that we can do, because that's what you told them. You figured if you came into court and said to me, I saw her, then you would have your car fixed. Don't go into court and lie. You lie to a judge once, usually you don't get a second chance. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What year truck is this?
It's a 94 Chevrolet.
So you have no insurance on the car?
Yes, I do, but I didn't go that route because I wanted her to pay.
Oh, no. What's your deductible on the car?
$500.
Good. Go that route. It may be a little more difficult for you. It may be a little more costly for you in the long run, but your lie's got to cost you something. So go have the car fixed. You got a $500 deductible, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nobody likes her. She just wants to blame me and my friend.
They wouldn't leave, so.
She was the one making an idiot out of herself, not us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gilbertson versus Johnson. Step forward, please.
33-year-old esthetician Vernita Gilbertson is suing former client, 42-year-old safety engineer Taryn Johnson, for unpaid house-sitting fees. Taryn says Vernita didn't do her job.
Miss Gilbertson, the defendant hired you to house/dog sit while she was on vacation. You made an arrangement. I think she was to be gone, according to your complaint, for 10 days.
Yes.
She was going to pay you $20 a day. It is your claim that you did your job. She came back from vacation and did not pay you.
Correct.
The defendant says you didn't do your job, so she's not going to pay you.
Okay.
How did you find this job?
Taryn was a client of mine at the wellness spa, and she came in for treatment, and we had talked about her going away on vacation with her mother, and I offered my services, and she agreed.
Were you supposed to stay at her home or just check on the home?
I was supposed to stay in the home.
What kind of a dog does she have?
Is there dachshunds?
Dachshunds, two of them.
Okay.
When was she leaving?
May 9th.
Did you stay in the house from the 9th until the 19th?
Excluding the 15th, which is the Tuesday. We were there. I took care of the dogs in the morning, and then in the evening we returned about 7 o'clock.
Who's we?
My daughter and I. And then we decided to go into the jacuzzi about 9 o'clock. We invited 2 friends over. They came, and we went in the jacuzzi for about an hour. And then we decided to leave because
There was all sorts of weird stuff going on. The TV went on by itself. The lights started flickering. I was like, that's it. We're out of here.
So what did you do?
We left. I made sure the dogs were secure. They had food, and then we left.
Did you stay there on the 16th?
Yes.
And the 17th?
I stayed until the 19th, until it was agreed upon.
So?
So on the Wednesday morning following the night of the jacuzzi party and whatnot, I got a call from my neighbor right here, Dawn Sohegan, calling me, telling me that there had been a party in my property the night before that disturbed her as well as the neighbors on the other side of my house, and that she was awakened by my dogs crying outside the house approximately 2 a.m. that morning.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Dawn Sohegan. First of all, I had only seen her come to the house once. I get up early and I go
Well,
to
she
bed
had to
late.
have been there because the dogs would be dead after 10 days of not being fed or
Right,
walked.
but they're also on medication, and there's certain times of the day that she needs to be there, which she wasn't there at
7
those
and
times of the
7.
day.
Go ahead.
Then when the party happened, and it was a school night, a work night, what have you, and they're out carrying on in the jacuzzi, which it's late.
How many people did you see in the jacuzzi?
4.
So she's correct. There were 4 people.
And Judge, let me just add that I made it very clear that no one else was to be in the house because I have a swimming pool because of liability reasons.
Okay. What time did they finally leave the jacuzzi?
I really don't know that because I did go into my house and go to sleep.
What time?
I went to sleep a little after 10.
And then you didn't hear them anymore?
Not until about 1:30.
What happened at 1:30?
At 1:30, they had relocated the party inside the house, which her family room is right next to my bedroom window.
You mean the party of 4 people?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was awoken again at 1:30 in the morning. By 2 o'clock, they were leaving, but they left every single light on in the house, and the dogs were crying. They have a doggy door, but they were sitting on the steps crying and crying and crying.
So the next morning you called the defendant?
The next morning, I called her answering machine.
Did you contact the plaintiff at that time?
Yes, I contacted the plaintiff as well as my other friend, Paula Williams, who has a key to my home. She went to the house, and I don't know if Paula would like to indicate what happened when she went to the house.
You went to the house the next day on the 16th?
I went to Taryn's house on the Wednesday because I was so worried about the dogs. When I drove up, all the exterior lights were on. There were lights on everywhere in the house, and the dogs were running loose. The beds looked exactly as they normally do, and Taryn makes them up. The blankets, pillows, sheets
No, she
hadn't
hasn't
been
clearly.
ruffled.
Miss Gilbertson had not slept there on the 15th. She said she did not sleep there.
No, it looked exactly like it does when Taryn makes up
We
the
didn't
bed.
sleep in the bedroom.
Just a second. The 2 dogs were there?
The 2 dogs were there running in the house.
And they appeared to be fed?
The dogs were fed. There was food and water there.
Okay. So, other than the fact that the lights were on in the house looked okay.
The lights were on in the house, but the towels had not been used that day.
I didn't ask. Had not been used. I'm asking you. Other
not
than the fact that
showering
the
then.
lights were on,
The lights were on.
The house was in, according to you, pristine condition.
No, she chewed the comforter.
Just a second.
It was in pristine condition.
Right. What you're saying to me was in such pristine condition, it's hard to imagine that anybody had slept there.
Correct.
Okay. I understand that. But the house was in pristine condition and the dogs were okay.
Yes, they were.
Fine. What else?
I stayed at the house until 10 o'clock that night, and that's when Vernita and her daughter came.
Okay. Miss Johnson, did you tell Miss Gilbertson when you spoke to her after this party that she had on the 15th that you didn't want her to go back to the house?
No, because she had a key, and I was afraid of what might happen.
You did not tell her not to go back.
That's correct.
Well, then you have to pay her.
She didn't complete the duties. I had to change she never brought my key. I had to change the locks.
I tried to
She
contact
left
you.
the dogs loose in the house. They shredded a comforter.
Listen, you were away for 10 days. I didn't fire her on the spot on the 15th. If you had done that and said, listen, I'm outraged, I'm going to pay you up until the 15th. Don't bother to come back.
Well, why would I do? I put myself in danger. The woman had a key to my home.
She doesn't look dangerous to me.
I don't know her.
If you don't know her, then you don't give her a key to your house.
I don't know.
If you don't know her,
I didn't know at that point in time until she didn't do what she said she was going to do, and had people in the home that I asked her for liability reasons not to have people in my home when I'm not there.
listen to me. I don't disagree with you, but if you have an employee that you feel as if is not performing their job, then you pay them and you fire them. Now, if she had not done her job at all and didn't show up, and your dogs were in a state of dehydration, hadn't been fed, maybe we would have a story. But if you took 2 dogs to a kennel, it would have cost you more to take your dogs to a kennel where they would have been in a cage for 10 days as it was costing you to have a human being come to the house and on at least 9 out of the 10 days staying over at your house. 9 out of the 10 days because you could only establish that she was not there, sleeping there one night. So you have to pay her. Perhaps not for the one night that she didn't sleep there because you didn't do your job that one night.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's fine.
And I don't care about this weird ghost thing, you know. You're a big...
Hey, it's true that.
You're a big girl. Anyway, she owed you $200. I'm cutting that by 20 because you didn't sleep there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $180.
Thank you.
50-year-old social health worker Rita Wyke is suing her niece, 19-year-old telemarketer Ebony Polk, for the cost of a new car engine and damages to her home.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 547 on the calendar in the matter of Wyke versus Polk. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Miss Wyke, the defendant is your niece.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, your niece had been living with you.
Yes.
You went away on business for a couple of weeks. And it is your claim that either your niece or someone that she invited to your home destroyed some of your property. And the most expensive thing that was destroyed was your car.
Yes, a 95 Nissan Pathfinder.
And that was damaged because, according to you, the car was not in good running order and you had brought it back to your home to just sit there until you could take care of it. It was not to be driven. Somebody, either the defendant or someone else, drove the car, and because it was driven with no oil, the engine seized or something happened to the engine.
Exactly.
And the engine has to be replaced. Ms. Polk said somebody else did it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long was your niece living with you?
Ebony moved in with me in March, the middle of March.
Why?
I took Ebony out of a bad situation, Judge, and I let her come and stay with me. I was taking Ebony to and from work until I started having the trouble with the Pathfinder, which was in June. It started leaking oil, and I was told that by the mechanic, I have here the estimate. I needed a rear main seal rod bearing, a main
Can I see
bearing.
it?
Sure.
Because you're just reading that. You don't understand what all that is. Ladies usually don't understand what
no.
all this is. It just as it doesn't run.
Yes, but that's why the Jeep was parked.
That's why it was parked.
Exactly.
Okay. So the original estimate back in June was $1,650 for parts and labor.
Yes.
To fix the car at that time. So from middle of June until July the 6th, the car was just sitting.
Just sitting.
And your niece was living with you.
She
at
was
that.
still there.
And you were not giving her rides to and from work in this car.
No, she had to catch city transit.
Okay, so far is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh. And then when you went away on July 6th, were you going away for business or pleasure?
No, business. And I was gone for 2 weeks at the group home. Ebony asked if her best friend, Brandy, could stay in the home with her while I was gone. I had no problem with that. When I returned, my Jeep wasn't parked the way I had left it. And I knew then it had been moved. When Ebony came home that afternoon, I asked her what happened. And she told me that they drove that Jeep and she had it towed back to my house.
What happened when you drove the Jeep, Ebony?
Well, I wasn't driving the Jeep. My friend Brandy was driving the Jeep.
Were you the passenger?
Yes.
So it doesn't make any difference. The two of you were in the car. Why did you take the car?
Because the fight had broke out at the house because I had a party. And, you know, a fight had broke out at the house, and I just said I had to go. It was still early, so we got in the Jeep and we went riding.
But you knew that you couldn't use the Jeep because
I know. I already know.
What do you mean you know you know?
I know. I know the Jeep. I didn't know it was messed up like that because when we got ready to get in the Jeep, an oil leak, I looked under the Jeep and see if it any oil on the concrete. It was no oil. So therefore, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was major like that. So we got in, started driving. Before we could get back to the house, it just stopped. I towed it back to the house. I got it back, I got it back to the, property fine and all right, but I feel
Well, you
like...
didn't get it back fine and all right. It had to be towed.
Well, it got back. It was better than leaving it on the side of the road.
You have another estimate for the car?
Exactly. Your Honor, not only that, Ebony went in my daughter's bedroom. I have a handicapped daughter. I had just bought her a 50 CD changer, took that child's stereo out, put it in the den. Now I'm left to buy her another stereo. They demolished that. 5 of her CDs were taken. Only the cases are left.
I was not responsible for that. It wasn't my fault. I did not know the CDs were gone.
For anything.
And I didn't know the stereo was messed up until she told me about it.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What kind of fight broke out in the house?
Well, it was a little scuffle, and when the scuffle happened, I told everybody they had to go.
Well, how many people were everybody?
It was only meant to be a few friends, few of Brandy's friends. It ended up being about 50, 60 people, and I knew that wasn't, I knew that wasn't even gonna work. So I told everybody they had to go.
She didn't have permission to have anybody in my house.
Well, listen to me.
I have here.
You made a big mistake.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I admit I did.
How old are you?
19.
Okay.
I feel like it's not my fault. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I wasn't driving it. I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Well, what about the carpet and the furniture?
The carpet.
Don't answer her yet. I'm still adding.
I'm sorry.
Let us assume that the damages, Miss Polk, that your aunt is claiming to her carpet, to the CD changer, the CDs, which she has itemized at, well, it's less than $44.23. It's less than that because I'm deducting the original $16.50
Okay.
that you were going to be charged to fix the car. Let us assume that all of that is correct. Carpet got stained because somebody spilled wine on it.
I offered to clean it, though, but she had a little attitude. I told her she had to wait till I got paid. But if she couldn't wait, she had an attitude. I got a mop and bleach, and I tried to get it up. It was some stains, but I told her I was going to get the stain cleaner. She couldn't wait. Oh, well.
Where are you living now?
I stay with my friend.
Good.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rita White claims her niece Ebony Polk owes for the cost of a car engine and damage to her home. Rita says Ebony has a bad attitude.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I have here where I had my carpet and furniture cleaned. I have the receipt here. I've already paid for that. Ebony feels like she's not responsible for anything.
Yes, I know that. What are we going to do about that?
Well, she cannot come back in my home.
Perfect.
There's no way.
Good.
I don't want to come back anyway.
She shouldn't come back to your home. Look, you spent $270 on the carpet.
That was the carpet and the furniture, the love seat and sofa.
And what about this CD changer?
Yes, that cost $279.
Do you have a bill for it?
No, I don't have that. The original price was like $319, but it was 6 months old because I bought it for her 25th birthday.
That was not my fault.
Well, whose fault was it? Tell me.
The gentleman who was in there who started the scuffle.
But I didn't tell
Shh, just a second. You allowed those people into your home.
I didn't know it was gonna be that many. I did not know all those people was coming. Brandy knew all those people was coming. I did not know. It was only supposed to have been a couple of people. Those was Brandy's friends. She is suing the wrong one.
Why didn't you call the police?
Because. Why?
What's a because?
Why? They were already gone. I didn't know who it was.
Oh. Listen to me. Some people are helpless. Some people are hopeless.
I am not hopeless.
Hopeless. Hopeless. Not helpless. Hopeless. Waste no more of your energy. You tried to do the right thing, didn't get there, doesn't get the message. She's got the attitude. It's never going to go away. You try to be a nice person. You said, invite your friend over. Don't stay alone. She abused your trust. She has no sense of right and wrong. She's 19 years old, so she's still young. But with that kind of an attitude, she's never gonna change. Wash your hands and say, finito! And concentrate on your children, concentrate on your job, concentrate on what you do, concentrate on the fact that she owes you $3,038. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. She may step out.
The Jeep was not my fault, and I'm not paying for that. And she knew that, so oh well.
All I can say is I love her. I love her, and I'll continue to pray for her.
She should have been talking to Brandon about that because those were her friends. She drove the Jeep, and it's her fault. Oh well.
I tried hard for Ebony.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Blocker Thomas. Step forward, please.
35-year-old administrator Gina Johnson is suing 30-year-old nurse Crystal Blocker Thomas for the cost of a wedding veil.
Miss Johnson, were you and the defendant friends before you loaned her your veil, your wedding
Yes,
veil?
acquaintances for about 8 years.
Acquaintances, but not good friends.
No.
It's your complaint that you loaned her your wedding veil. She was getting married, and when she finally got around to returning it after many requests, it was ruined, and you want the value of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'd like you to tell me when you agreed to loan her your veil.
We played basketball together in a women's basketball league, and our league had just ended. It was about March. And probably around the mid of March, we went to a restaurant and discussed that she was getting married sometime in July and how expensive it was to get married. And I explained to her that I knew a lot of ways to cut costs, and I had some items that she could borrow. And I had not heard from Crystal after we had that lunch until the morning of her wedding, and that was sometime in July. She called me at 6:45 a.m., spoke to my husband. She called back about 9:15 that morning, and I explained to her, you know,
What did she say to you when you spoke to her at 9 o'clock in the morning?
She says, "Hi, Gina, this is Crystal. I'm calling you because I would like to borrow your wedding veil." You remember when we had the conversation about borrowing the veil? And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "When do you get married?" She says, "Today." And I said,
So you were not really close friends because you weren't going to the wedding.
Right. Correct.
So you're just acquaintances.
Right.
So go ahead.
And so when I talked to her on the phone, I said, "Well, Crystal, I have plans today. You know, you're getting married today. What time?" And I believe she said about 4 o'clock. And I'm a woman of my word. I said that she could borrow it. I was going to let her borrow it. I didn't want to leave her out. And so about that time, I told her, "Okay, I've got plans. You need to meet me closer to my home." She agreed to meet me about, I guess it was about noon. And I met her, gave her my veil in its original plastic bag on a hanger hanging in mint condition. And she got out of the car, and I crossed the street and gave her my veil. I said, "Congratulations. Get this back to me as soon as you can." She says, "No problem. Thank you."
Okay, so you had your wedding?
Yes.
Now you say she gave you the veil.
Yes.
Well, let me hear, because the wedding, it's clear that the veil must have come back in terrible condition, which you'll show me in a minute. Tell me about your recollection of the conversation that took place in July when you got married.
Okay, we were at Ken Ride's, and as she stated, we were talking about the wedding. Gina just openly said, "Crystal, if you need anything, I have so many things that I'm not going to use again. They're not, you know, they're going to be totally obsolete. So if you need anything, just call me, and I'll be more than willing to give you whatever I have." She said, "Because I know I'm not going to use it again." So I said, "Okay, well, I don't believe I need too much because I'm pretty much finished."
You called her the day of your wedding?
Yes.
And you told her you didn't have a wedding veil? Had you forgotten to get a wedding veil?
No. Well, I guess I did forget because I wasn't going to wear a piece. I wasn't going to wear a headpiece.
And then you decided to wear a headpiece?
Right.
So you called her first thing in the morning?
No, I called her about because I went to go get my hair done first thing in the morning. And the way she did my hair, I realized a veil would probably look better.
So you called her and asked her for hers?
I asked her, did she have one? Because we never discussed that I would use her veil. I asked her, did she have one? And she said, as a matter of fact, I do.
When she gave you the veil, she gave it to you on a hanger?
She gave it to me on a hanger with 2 safety pins in it.
And it was covered with plastic?
A trash bag, not a bridal bag.
It was covered with plastic?
Yes.
And it was in perfect enough condition for you to use that day. I assume you used it. I assume you used it that day.
I didn't use the entire veil. I altered it.
What do you mean you altered it?
Because we let her know, because I was with my friend Tamara that dropped me out, that was doing the driving, rather. And she let me know, Tamara let her know, this will
Where's
not
Tamara?
work. This is Tamara right here.
Step up. Did you ever tell the plaintiff that you were going to change, alter, cut, modify the veil?
Yes, ma'am, we did mention that day because when we...
No, I want you to tell me what you said, because she said she didn't say anything.
Well, when I looked at the veil, I said the headpiece would have to come off because of how Crystal's hair was done that day, because it's a headband type headpiece. It would not go over her hair.
And when did you tell that to the plaintiff?
Right when we got out the car, because we were both out of the car, and actually...
Did she tell you that?
No, Your Honor. The first time I saw her, she was behind the wheel. I had never spoke to her.
Did they ever tell you that they were going to do anything to alter your headpiece?
No, Your Honor.
Of course not. Let me see how they returned it, please.
Your Honor, and I also have my friend Teresa Cackley, who is here as a witness, who heard the original conversations.
I don't care what the original conversation was. Nobody gives a stranger their wedding veil. Now, when it was returned to you, I read your complaint, and you said that this is just a piece of... Where's the whole piece?
She still has it, Your Honor, and that's a headpiece.
This is the actual headpiece.
When it was returned to you, it was returned to you in a garbage bag full of other things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
I didn't return it to her. My husband brought it to the gym because she was talking badly about me to her.
So she wanted her wedding veil back. Why didn't you give it back to her?
She let me have it. Why would I give it back if she let me have it?
Listen, is that also a piece from her wedding veil?
No, this is how we auctioned it. This is the actual necklace that went on the veil. As you can see, we just...
Just a minute. Was that originally on the veil when she gave it to you?
No.
That?
No.
That was your piece?
Yes.
Now, this has nothing to do with money. So I want you just to answer my question. Do you have all the pieces now that you had from your veil?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
What is missing?
As you can see, someone picked the pearls off of the back of it. You can see where some of them were glued here, and they've been removed off the veil.
So there's no way that, I mean, you're going to get your money. There's no way you're not going to get your money, whatever the cost of the veil was, because Miss Thomas is not operating with a full deck. I never heard of any young woman who thought that she borrowed either a wedding dress from an acquaintance, not a friend, not a best friend, not somebody who was invited to the wedding, from an acquaintance, borrowed a wedding veil, borrowed shoes, borrowed a bag, and then said, oh, it's mine. I can now treat it like garbage. You're absolutely outrageous, and your husband is a bigger slob by returning it in that garbage bag to her with some old dead flowers in it. Was there wedding cake in there too?
Your Honor, that is her bouquet that she returned and did not know it was in the bag. And that's the only way I could get her to return my calls, that she wanted her bouquet back.
Really? Why did you want your bouquet back? No. Just answer my, don't think about it. Just tell me, why did you want your bouquet
it's my
back?
bouquet. And
oh! So it's your bouquet.
Right.
And you want it back. Sue for it. Sue for it. I want you to listen to me very carefully. You're going to be unsuccessful.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because your husband gave it to her.
Well, she gave me her veil.
No, she didn't.
She never said it was
No, she
alone.
didn't. You just told me your husband gave her this entire bag. I am finding that she loaned you the veil, which you destroyed. But it's so interesting to me, Miss Thomas, that you say, well, it's my bouquet from my wedding. I want it back. And you can't understand why really a stranger who was being nice to you gave you her wedding veil, which is expensive, which was lovely, and you think, she gave it to me, and I don't have to give it back to her. So, you want those flowers? I suggest you file a lawsuit. I hope it doesn't come before me, because if it comes before me, you're not going to get it back because your husband gave it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested. The veil is worth at least $220. That's all.
Thank you, Your
Parties are excused. You may step.
McDaniel says her daughter, Glenda Julius, owes for the cost of her granddaughter's funeral. Bourbon claims Glenda received aid from the state and refuses to give her the money.
All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 201 on the calendar in the matter of McDaniel versus Julius. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Miss McDaniel, the defendant is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint is really a simple one, and your complaint is that you made 2 loans to your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And she has not paid you back. Your daughter says that these were not loans, they were really gifts. But the matter becomes more complicated because of the nature of the loans that you claim to your daughter. Miss Julius, you had a daughter who was murdered.
Yes, ma'am.
When was she murdered?
September 24th. She was found dead in her room.
In your home?
In her home.
Has the perpetrator of that murder ever been found?
There are 3 people apprehended as of right now for first-degree murder.
How old was your daughter?
17.
According to you, Miss McDaniel, you went to where your daughter was living. and your daughter did not have money for burial.
That's right.
You agreed to loan her the money for the burial.
Yes, ma'am.
Subsequently, your daughter, who was not happy staying in the same house where her daughter was murdered, which is quite understandable because people had not been apprehended at that time, asked if she could relocate, and you agreed to loan her some money.
Yes, ma'am.
So that she could relocate. What was the extent of those two sums of money? The funeral was how much?
$4,582.27.
And how much did you advance your daughter to relocate?
$1,487.68.
The matter becomes more complicated because at some point, Miss Julius, you ascertained that there was a crime victim's compensation that you could apply for.
The DA.
The DA?
From Carroll County.
Told you what?
Told me that there was a victim's fund relief.
And what was it for?
It was for expenses for Jessica's death. And I have been making payments.
Just a second. Expenses for Jessica's death?
Yes.
Which included her burial?
Which my mother gave as a gift.
Listen to me very carefully.
Which included, yes.
So the state of Tennessee had a fund which provided for the survivors of victims of violent crime to give them money so that they could pay for burial?
Yes.
And other related expenses?
Yes.
You applied for that?
Yes.
And you got a check?
Yes.
How much was the check?
One was $5,300 and the other one was $1,024.
Can I see the paperwork surrounding those two checks, please?
There was a few gas expenses.
Can I see the paperwork for the...
This is exactly what
Bert, I'll take a look
but
at
I
it.
have more different, I have receipts to where I have been paying my mother.
Just a second. They paid you $5,307.27 for the funeral. And then there are other related expenses, moving expenses. Are you telling me that you have proof that you gave some of this money to your mother?
Yes, I have.
I'd like to see it, please.
I have receipts. Here, this is for money orders. She told me that her payments were 70 and 40. I talked to my sister Gail that's standing next to her over the telephone. She was in California. I talked to her and she said, have you been giving her money? I said, yeah. She told me 70 and 40 on her credit cards. And that's exactly, I've been giving her a little bit more.
Well, I see what you're talking about. You gave her $30, $40.
And it started on 11/3, excuse me.
I understand that, but these are very small amounts of money. When did you get the check from the state?
In April. She told me it was on credit cards, and as long as I was helping her out, there was no lump sum that I was supposed to give her. She knew I would have to go home. I have a headstone to purchase for my daughter, which is $910, and I'm working at a minimum wage job. I moved out because it was so unbearable to live with her in her house.
Let's go back a second. You got this money, which is about $6,500. What did you do with it?
I've been living on it. And also, I have money set aside to buy Jessica's stone and money set aside to go home.
Well,
because
so
I cannot live.
Just a second. You just told me that the stone is $900.
$910.
Fine. And did you order it?
I've already talked to...
Yes. Don't play with me.
Yes.
Did you order it?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
Not as of yet.
Why not?
Because she started this lawsuit.
What's the name of the company that's going to do the stone?
Memorial Gardens.
Well, you certainly have $900 for the stone because you got $6,500. And my problem with you, Miss Julius, is, because this is not a very difficult case, whether your mother said to you, as you allege in your answer, that's the least I can do to give you the money for the funeral, right? That's what she alleges you said to her, or not. The good people of the state of Tennessee did not provide this money for you to live on. The good people of the state of Tennessee wanted to ensure that your daughter had an appropriate burial. So you cannot take their money and do what you want with it. You have to take their money and pay for her funeral. That's what it was earmarked for by the state. Because whether you and your mother, according to you, you colluded to defraud the state by her signing papers that said she's going to pay me back, and she really didn't mean that you were going to pay her back. That's a fraud on the state. I can't sanction that. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your family has had sufficient amounts of sadness to last for a lifetime. And even if your mother is awarded the $5,000, you still have money left over for the headstone. And then some.
And later today,
When they got pulled over, there were drugs in the car. Whose drugs were they?
They were his drugs.
What kind of drugs were found in the car?
Marijuana, pills, and methamphetamines.
Whose were they?
Hers.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Verben McDaniel is suing her daughter, Glenda Julius, for the cost of her granddaughter's funeral. Glenda says her mother is heartless.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm working in a dry cleaners. I'm having trouble dealing with the public.
What kind of work did you do before your daughter's death?
I was working in a convenience store, third shift.
Your mother paid for the funeral. According to the claim that you put into the criminal injuries compensation claim for Jessica Dawn Julius, the funeral was $5,307.27. That's what you told the state, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the funeral was actually $45.82?
The difference was donations from the school where Jessica went.
What?
I have a paper that states each and every one that gave donation to the funeral.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
The family that Jessica was, Lisa Stevens' family, were there and willing, and the whole town was willing to help out with this. My mother is the one that wanted me to move. I left everything I owned.
Listen to me. I'm not talking about the moving. I'm talking about the fact that you cannot take this money and live on it. I have to make a judgment whether the person who actually paid for the funeral, and that's your mother, or you who did not pay for the funeral, are the rightful recipients of this money from the state, which is earmarked for your daughter's burial expenses. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And there were some very nice people from the town who also sent checks in for the funeral. But that's not the issue. The issue really is a very simple one. Whether your mother, at the time that your daughter died, and I believe that she probably did, say to you, this is a terrible time. I don't want you to worry about the funeral. I'll take care of it. Because that's what a parent does. But then when you found out that there was a possibility, because you said that the district attorney told you that there was a fund, that was after your daughter was buried, correct?
Yes.
So after your mother laid out that money, and probably would not have sought to recoup it because you have limited circumstances, that'd be a fair statement. But after she found out that you were going to get this money from the state for the funeral, the right thing for you to do was to give it back to her.
I've been giving her close to $1,500.
No. That may have been fine, Miss Julius, giving her $30, giving her $70, until you got $6,500. Once you got $6,500, you had to say, Mom, clean up the credit card, pay it off, because that's what this check was supposed to be used for.
Yes,
Do we
ma'am.
understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Let's not pursue this any further. Your family has had sufficient amount of sadness to last for a lifetime. So you have the money, and even if your mother is awarded the $5,000, you still have money left over for the headstone, and then some, right? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I love my daughter. Love my granddaughter.
It was a gift to bury Jessica.
She's using it very foolishly, but she'll have to live with that for the rest of her life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Savage versus Balding.
Nancy Savage is suing the mother of her grandson, Melissa Balding, for bail money. Nancy says Melissa and her son were arrested on drug charges.
All right, everybody listen very carefully, because this is a long saga to get to a simple question. Miss Savage, I assume this is your son.
Yes, it is.
This is his girlfriend.
Yes, it is.
Ex-girlfriend.
True.
They have a child together.
True.
She doesn't have custody of the child. He doesn't have custody of the child. One of your other children has custody of the child, because both of these two people were, in somebody's opinion, not capable of taking care of this child. According to your complaint, some time ago, Your son was driving your car with her in the car. When did that happen?
About a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Let's have a month.
April 30th, 2004.
He's not your only child, is he?
No.
Perfect. It's a perfect example of don't put all your eggs in one basket. When they got pulled over, there were drugs in the car. I assume, Miss Savage, that they didn't belong to you.
Right.
So the two of them got hauled into court and your car was impounded. According to you, you bailed out your son and Miss Balding, and you want your bail money, which was how much?
$750.
You also would like her to pay for the towing fees on the car and the impound fees.
The impound fees.
That she's not going to pay for because the Hulk over here was the one driving your car, right?
Yes.
And you gave him permission to drive your car, I assume. So I would suggest you get the impound and towing fees back from him. By the way, have you paid your mother back for your bail?
Yes, I have. Except for $50 of it.
What about the towing fees?
No, I haven't.
Where were the drugs found?
They were found behind the glove box, stashed.
Whose drugs were they?
They were his drugs.
Had you used drugs that day?
No.
Were you under the influence of drugs that day? Were you under the influence of alcohol that day?
That was possible.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
What time of the day was this?
Around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because I was laying out at my pool.
What time had you started drinking?
Around 12 o'clock.
He's shaking his head no. I tend to believe him. Were any charges ultimately brought against you?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
That I'm not quite sure about them, but I have this paper right here stating that it was all dropped and dismissed.
Let me see that, please.
I have on the bail slip that I got her what her charges were.
Can I see that, please?
And she has one more charge than my son was, which I believe is being under the influence. She admitted to the police that she had taken somas.
What is that?
It's a muscle relaxer. Not that day, but previous.
Now tell me about the call you received, Miss Savage, from the defendant about the bail.
First of all, one of their friends notified me that their car had been pulled over, so I went to where it was because it was less than a mile from my house. And I asked the officer if I could get my car, and he said no, there were drugs involved, and one of them was under the influence, and so they were going to impound it. So I asked him where my grandchild was, and the officer went over and asked Melissa, and she told him it was at her apartment. So I told him I would take responsibility and go get Brian and have him stay with me.
Who was watching him?
Some of their friends.
Go ahead.
So I went and brought my grandson home, and I was trying to calm him and everything. He was very upset.
How old is he?
2.5.
Go ahead.
I told him that Mommy and Daddy were having car problems, and when their car was fixed, that they would come and get him, and he told me that I should take him to where they were. So Melissa started calling. The first call, she was like, you have to get me out of here. I can't stay in here. You need to get me out. I'll do anything. Whatever it is, I'll pay you back. Just get me out. And that was the first of one of many calls. I probably got between 15 and 20 calls that night, and every time she called, she woke my grandson up. And
what about your son?
He called me once.
Did you go and bail him out?
I bailed both of them out.
No. He called you once?
Once.
When did you bail him out?
Steve got released around 2 o'clock that afternoon, and Melissa got released 8:30, 9 o'clock that morning because there was a woman in jail that Melissa had identified for another crime.
Oh, just a second. This incident happened at 12 noon.
No, the incident happened at like 10 o'clock that night that they were pulled over.
Yes. Oh, so she had been drinking from 12 noon until 10 o'clock at night, according to her. Oh, I didn't understand that. Now I understand. Okay, and during that whole time, she called you numerous times.
She called me about 15 to 20 times, and she told me that they wanted to test her for drugs and she wasn't going to give them a urine sample, and that when she had to go to the bathroom that she would have the girls in the waiting cell stand around her so they didn't know that she was urinating.
Step up. What happened to your case?
My case was dropped before hers was.
What kind of drugs were found in the car?
Marijuana, pills, and methamphetamines.
Whose were they?
Hers.
Oh. That's interesting. Not yours.
The marijuana was mine. I admitted to the cop. When we were stopped, he asked if there were any drugs in the vehicle, and the marijuana was in my pocket. And I handed that to him, and he found the other drugs when we asked for my license and registration. When she opened the glove box door, he saw a container that everything else was in.
Who are you?
Her mother.
Step up. Why do you think your daughter didn't call you to bail her out?
Because I taught her not to call me and bail any of my children out until they have gone to their first preliminary hearing.
She was in Ohio.
Just
a second.
They'll possibly lower the
Just a
bail. Or
second.
drop the
What's your last name?
Daly.
Miss Daly, how many children do you have that have been arrested?
Oh, this one.
So when you said you've taught all your children not to call you until after they have had their first bail hearing, you were really referring just to her?
No, I raised 4 daughters as a single parent.
Yes.
And I worked in law enforcement for 30 years.
Yes.
And I just informed them that if they got into a situation where they ended up in jail, I would hope this wouldn't happen, but I just wanted to make sure that they knew what to do.
How many years have you spent in law enforcement?
All told, 20.
Between us, we have more than a half a century in law enforcement, Miss Daly. How many children do you have?
4.
Between us, we have 9 children. Did you ever have a conversation and tell your children, if you ever get arrested, make sure you wait until your first bail hearing because your bail will probably be lowered? Do you remember having that conversation when you told them about, don't talk to strangers, don't go near people's vans? You ever remember having that conversation with your 4 children?
Negative.
Me neither. So you want to go through this one more time with me? Because unless you're kooky, because I never heard of a mother, even in law enforcement, sitting her children down and saying, listen, never talk to strangers, be home at midnight, don't give any strangers your phone number, and if you ever get arrested, I want you to wait until your first bail hearing before you call me because your bail may be reduced. Were you happy to get out of jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Pay her the money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $750, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy's always right, but I feel that they've been attacking me.
She's been blaming everything on me since we've been together.
He had told me, just take it, it'll be a slap on your wrist because I have priors.
I don't have any prior drug convictions, no, I don't.
I don't want anything to do with them. I just want my son now.